So welcome to day 3 of my live stream little courses, I suppose, little talks that I've been doing on helping your salon overcome the COVID-19 lockdown. So if you're joining me today, I welcome you. Today I had been asked to let people know that it was coming on live. So today I did the pre-setting one. I have to just kind of put it on there and plan when I'm going to do it. So I really appreciate that feedback. So thank you very much. So let me know if you're watching live now or if you're replay. Just put a live or replay into the comments to let me know. And I'm really excited that you're joining me today. My name's Caroline Cooper and I'm the founder of the Profitable Salon Creator Movement. We're looking to change the workplace for women one salon at a time. So day 2 into level 3 to level 3, and I can already feel the world coming right. My 2 older children went down to the beach today for a swim. They're competitive swimmers, so they've been absolutely hanging out to get back into the water. But as the country slowly moves back into normality, it can be frustrating and an unnerving time for salon owners as they have to wait a little longer before they can have their turn to get back to trading. So if you're feeling anxious as a salon owner or even as a stylist for that matter, you're not alone. I've had salon owners reaching out to me quite consistently over the lockdown period, wanting to know what's going on, when they'll be able to go trade, and how to deal with some of the issues that are coming to a head at the moment because of the COVID-19 lockdown. So this is the motivation for doing this little 4-part series over these 4 days to try and address some of these issues and provide some clarity, some information, and perhaps some guidance on, what's going on and how things will change and how your salon can pivot and adapt in this situation. So I'm running 4 Facebook Lives over this period. I did one on Monday when we looked at understanding the COVID-19 and the post-COVID-19 economy and how your salon will react in that and how the hair and beauty industry can weather that as a whole. Yesterday, I just had my breakfast 5 minutes ago. We had a power outage this morning, so I've been a little bit rushed to get this all organised. So yesterday we created a new kind of dialogue with your clients. It's around how authentic communication is going to be the new love language for clients and how clients are looking for that authentic engagement. So today we're going to look at personal accountability is for everyone and how you can expect more accountability from your staff. And that's the little slide so you can read that. And tomorrow we are looking at how to sell with heart, creating an authentic response to COVID and getting paid for it. So that's going to be a really enjoyable workshop, or suppose, or Facebook Live tomorrow. So I really hope you can join me for that. Also, at the end of this Facebook Live, I'm going to jump over to my Facebook group, the Profitable Salon Creators Network. There is a link to it on my page. If you want to go, where I'll answer some more specific questions that have come up frequently from owners around the specific topic we're talking about today. So today's topic will be around employee accountability in the post-COVID environment. So if you have a specific question, direct message me and I'll answer it if I've got time. Otherwise, you can listen to some of the questions and responses that other people have put forward. And just to let you know that on Thursday's Facebook Live session, there will be a link for a downloadable summary, I suppose, of everything we've covered today that you can use just to help you through those moments when you're feeling a little bit of anxiety around what a post-COVID economy is going to look like. So let's jump right in. We've got a lot to cover today. So I really appreciate you being here. I love talking about this stuff. And so it's a delight to be able to share it with you guys today. So personal accountability is for everyone. Why you can expect more accountability from your staff. So what has changed? Why can you expect more from your staff? Well, actually, the situation over the last 10 years has really been evolving. We've seen business compliance levels going up, and we're seeing that around minimum wage, around even things like having to pay for music that you broadcast. All those sorts of things are stacking up and making small businesses have to take more accountability and more responsibility for that space in which they operate. And we're seeing a smaller divide in terms of operating processes between corporates and smaller businesses. So this is something that's been happening over the last 10 years. And the COVID crisis has really pushed this shift into sharp focus for salon owners. And now salons really have to step up and start behaving like the businesses they truly are. And this means things have to be more formalized. There has to be more formalized processes around compliance, planning, processes, standards, systems, and reviews. Now, hearing me say this, I might be sending some of you into a mild state of panic, but you don't need to worry. This shift has been happening over the last 10 years. And there are some salon owners who naturally do this. It's in their natural wheelhouse to be able to do this, and they've already started along this pathway. And so you can look to them for inspiration and guidance on how they're doing it. There's also people like myself who are strong systems developers that have a specific connection to the hairdressing industry and have seen this happening. And we're now getting into the space, we're setting up businesses so that we can be in a position to support salon owners with the support and information they need to get them from where they were to where they need to be. So as an industry, I think that we are going to make this happen, but be patient. It is happening. There is not as much information and support out there as I would like it to be. So that's partly what's brought me into this space, and to help meet that need. So it's coming. But let's talk about how things have changed for stylists going back after COVID, and what we can expect for them. So the first thing that you will notice is that your staff are craving more information. And in some cases, you yourself may not even have that information yet to give them. But that's okay. But what this means for stylists is that they are going to expect more regular communication and, more importantly, more consistent communication from you moving forward. We'll talk a little bit more about this later, but before we do, I just want to jump back to stylists. From you to be there, to be able to show up and give them the regular and consistent communication they need. This means that you're going to have to contribute, that they are going to have to contribute in ways that we may not have asked from them before in the past. Now, this won't apply to everyone completely. Everyone has their own management styles and their own expectations around employees. So there will be some of this that resonates strongly with you, and some of it you go like, girl, I've got this covered. I'm doing this already. So, really take heart in those moments and say that you're already on that pathway. So, now we are, since COVID, we are now allowed to expect more personal accountability from our staff because things have changed, and salon owners require more support to make sure that these changes can happen smoothly and, more importantly, in a way that protects the well-being of key stakeholders. So let's break this down a little further. I've got some slides here for you. So bringing person accountability will help support protecting client wellbeing. And for stylists, that means, first and foremost, COVID-19 regulations and guidelines, health and safety procedures. It's really important that stylists get on board with this and they take some personal responsibility from it. And it's okay for you to ask them to do this and ask them to demonstrate how they're doing this. This is not just for you, but reporting this needs to happen. It is going to become part of our, our national psyche around health and safety in the workplace, and providing evidence to you by completing paperwork to demonstrate this happening, even when you're not there, is going to be something you can ask of your stylists. So the next one is maintaining accurate contract tracing. This means, again, upholding the salon standards, even if it doesn't feel like a big deal to them. So this means that they have to adhere to your salon's values, which is managing things like managing contact tracing, even if it doesn't go along with their personal values. Even if they think, oh, that's my mate, it doesn't matter, I'm in a rush, I don't need to take the details of the driver. But these things are mattering more, and as a salon owner, you are responsible, and therefore, as a result, your whole salon is responsible. So everyone needs to be getting on board and stepping up and filling that space. And the third thing is really creating better client outcomes, because when clients come into your salon, they are demonstrating a level of trust that they have in your salon brand and with your staff. And it's really important that stylists honour that every time they come in and provide them with strong outcomes. And this is in terms of hairdressing outcomes, so what they've come in for, and as well as emotional outcomes. Has the stylist ensured that they've followed processes and allowed the client to feel safe? Have they delivered on what they said they were going to do? Have they provided all those emotional touch points that we sort of talked about yesterday in terms of around consultation and all those sorts of things? And have they done that to really give the client better outcomes? So it comes down to other things as well. So things like engaging with training, processes, standards and targets you set around how clients need to be delivered to moving forward. So this is something you can now have permission to expect accountability on. So the next key stakeholder that, where personal accountability will really support is the team. So it's the team that operates. It's yourself, it's your team, your stylist, and any support team that you have. So it starts off with safe workplace practices. Just as COVID practices protect clients, they also protect your team. So again, accountability, doing what needs to be done here is critical for all team members to step up. It's things like maintaining personal hygiene and salon hygiene standards and standards of cleanliness, without being asked, doing it when it needs to happen, reporting that they're feeling unwell, and even if, it suits them to come in now, they need to think about the how well they're feeling to come into work and engage. And to help maintain salon processes without being asked, because there may be some disruption in the continuity of people coming and going because of things like illness and whatnot, and they need to be there to support that. They need to offer support to other team members, and this means like stepping up if someone is unwell, if someone suspects they're unwell and can't come into work. Instead of getting upset about it, it is really about stepping up and then being able to expect others to do the same for them if it ever happens. It's also about stepping up and supporting people if people are struggling with meeting the new health and safety standards, because not everyone has strong read-write capabilities. Not everyone has as accomplished time management skills. And these are things people can grow and develop. But, stepping into that space immediately, there has to be some support from team member to team member to allow these things to happen smoothly and consistently. And it's okay to ask them to do that and expect them to do that. And it's really important that team members now really focus on conducting themselves in a way that's safe and respectful for others. There's already a lot of unrest in the economy, in society, in what the future holds for all of us. And, conducting yourself in a way that's professional and respectful at work to keep things professional and positive and not being personal is really important for protecting the mental health of the team that they work with. And then finally, contributing to team goals. So it is important, it is okay for you to expect stylists to contribute to team performance goals. Now this is anything from engaging with each other and engaging with training and implementing the training, participating in team incentives and promotions. It's about meeting the standards for client expectation. These all support the team in two ways. Firstly, there is not a situation where team members, if there's a situation where team members are not complying and others are, it can lead to resentment, arguments, and it just doesn't create a positive salon culture. And secondly, COVID has brought into sharp relief that contributing to the financial health of the salon is every stylist's responsibility and should no longer fall on the shoulders of the few. So it is really going to, in terms of keep maintaining that peace and coherence as a team, it's really important that everyone steps up and participates in the performance outcomes for the salon. Now, this might be as simple as, just being able to ask for help, ask for support, let them know let you know and let other team members know where they're struggling and unable to do this. So this moves us nicely onto protecting the salon's well-being, and the overall salon is, important because, and you should expect more accountability in performance. And COVID has highlighted that growing the financial health of your salon is critical to safeguarding everyone in the long term, and that's stylists and yourself. It's not just stylists working for you. It's about a collaboration moving forward where you work together and use the salon as in a way that contributes to your financial safety for all of you. So, by working towards the salon's well-being, it's things like protecting the business against future interruption. So the inability to trade again will happen, and it may not be as widespread as the COVID crisis, but it's all happened to us at some point, and it will happen to again. It's things like power outages, earthquakes, compulsory building works, illness, the list goes on. Some of these things may be only for a few hours, but others could last for days. And regardless, stylists now should recognise that it's part of their job, their responsibility to be contributing to that financial health of the business, to support business through these things that happen. It's not going to be left, they should recognise that it shouldn't be left on the owner's shoulders to carry the business through, because the owner needs that support to be able to do that. And we'll touch on this a little bit later as we go on. So the next thing is maintaining salon workflow. This is where personal responsibility really kicks in, and we know it commonly as initiative. Stylists need to be taking more responsibility and initiative for the downtime to support the salon to stay on top of things. If possible, stylists should not be leaving things till tomorrow, because the one thing that we have recognised about COVID is that they may not be there to step up and do those things tomorrow. Things move quickly, and we need to take initiative and do things while we still can. And finally, the financial health. Now, we've covered this a little bit already, and around how we've got protecting the client wellbeing, protecting the team wellbeing, and as part of the salon wellbeing, it is really important because it really supports the salon. And in a broader sense, this really is about stylists taking responsibility for their performance and how they meet the salon targets. So it is about consistent application to meeting this is now the number one way to protect the financial health of the salon. Now, on that point, I want to shift back to a point I made earlier, and this is around the changing roles of salon owners. So we're already starting to see the role of salon owners changing in terms of stepping up front and centre as the salon's leader and fronting up with authentic, regular and consistent communication to your team and your clients. And this is the start that signals very strongly that a change is at foot. So salon owners will need to move more regularly and more purposefully into the space of salon management and salon CEO. So there will be some salon owners who want to stay in that space of artist, and what we will see is people making that conscious decision that this is where they find their flow. This is what's important to them, and the most important aspect of being a salon owner is being able to be a strong stylist and be a strong artist. So you'll see that some owners will in the future make a conscious decision to change the way they operate, and they will look to step away from the ownership space and move into being independent stylists or going back to work for other people in salons where they can be supportive to allow them to flourish in that space. And this is totally okay. It is a personal choice and a personal journey. And the great thing about COVID is it has provided us with that opportunity to reflect and evaluate what's going to be best for us. But for most owners, they will want to be able to move into that management role and manage their team and grow and keep the salon's profits consistent. Now, you will find, if you want to do that and take that journey and really evolve your salon ownership, you'll find yourself having to spend more and more time in the space of salon manager and CEO. And what you'll find is that when you're in the role of salon manager, your main role is to keep growing your salon and keep growing your salon profits and keep it consistent. When you're in the space of the CEO, you'll find that you're spending more time planning, strategizing, creating new and novel ways to grow your business and your wealth. So when you are working in the management space, you will now know that your job is to grow the salon profits. When you're working in the in the CEO space, you'll now know your job is to grow your salon wealth or your personal wealth. Now, before you balk at my straightforwardness and the bluntness around this, we as salon owners, we can sometimes have a little bit of discomfort, say that, my job is to grow my wealth. That can sometimes jar with our personal values, and we can go, oh God, that's a little bit too much for me. What I want you to understand is that COVID has now made this your personal responsibility. It is now your responsibility as an owner to grow your salon profits and to grow your personal wealth. And I want you to recognize why this is important. So why is it important that you take responsibility for growing your salon profits? It is because it allows you to pay your stylists fairly and allows you to give them the opportunities to grow that pay. It allows for growth. It allows for development of yourself and your stylist. It allows for training. It allows for support. It also, so it's really an opportunity to get you all into a better shape to really weather these economic storms that will come up again in the future. It is the nature of the beast. I mean, anyone who's been in business for any time will understand that these things come in different sizes and different magnitudes all throughout your business career. So around wealth, now this is something that people are kind of keep a little bit private and they don't talk about. And I want to just put it out there that's actually important for salon owners to recognize that part of their role is now to grow their personal wealth. Now, why is this important? And it's important for a number of reasons. It's important that you reduce your debt. It's important that you increase your equity because this allows you to then go back to the bank and borrow more money more safely if there is ever a problem in the future. It gives you more options. It gives you more financial flexibility to jump through the obstacles that becomes operating in a modern economic environment. It also allows you to bed down some financial reserves, some cash reserves, so that when things like this happen, you can still pay your tax bill, that you can still pay your staff, that you can still pay your landlord. And it allows you, we shouldn't ever underestimate the strength of having some cash reserves and being able to put that little bit aside and grow your wealth even incrementally every week, And the overall importance of this, the overall importance of why we do any of this, why stylists need to step up and take more responsibility, and why owners, we need to recognize our new role is around growing product profitability and growing wealth. And that is to reduce the stress long term, because these things happen and it gives us that mindfulness, that confidence, and that ability to be able to pivot and move and grow and adapt as the economic environment impacts on our business in varying degrees, in the future. And it allows us to no longer be a victim of chance. Whether we survive will no longer be down to chance. You will know what you need to do to be able to create that. So another full-on session for you guys. And tomorrow we're going to do we're going to have a look at how to sell with authenticity in a post-COVID environment. and get paid for doing it. So I hope you're going to join me tomorrow. I'm just going to jump into my Facebook group, the Profitable Salon Creators Network now. I'm just going to do it straight away because I'm running behind because of my power cut. So I'll do that in a few minutes and I'll answer a few specific questions there. And if you've missed the last 2 days live, it is available on my page, and also it is available on YouTube if you want to catch up there and have a look. I really enjoyed speaking to you today. I love talking about this stuff. It really does. It helps me develop my understanding. So I really appreciate you being an audience. I'm really grateful for that opportunity. So thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and have a lovely day. Bye.